If the speakers from this afternoon session could come up, I think we have very short of time. I don't want to run over because I'm conscious we do have another session for other participants subsequently. But if there's one or two very burning questions that are short. And also short answers, please.
Thank you. I remember our first presenter, Johan. He mentioned the different detection methods in the old time people use for salmonella detection with different methods for clinical sample and for food sample, for example. I'm afraid for the moment, currently is still the case in many scenarios based on, due to very different matrix and very different amounts of the pathogens from different samples. So although I'm not an expert in next generation sequencing, but I suppose this issue actually more or less still exists in next generation sequencing. So my question is, if different people use different methods or different protocol, let's say, do you see different data? I mean, how to interpret the data generated from different labs? Or let's say the matter standardization problem.
It's a very important problem, and it has to be standardized, and it has to be global, and that's why GMI has started these standardized tests.
Because I see you're collecting the data, but I was thinking maybe the first step should be on the methods, right?
Yes, but we can't wait. I think exactly like it was mentioned just now, I don't think we can wait. We have to start things in many different places, okay, and we have to try to push them in many different ways. So we are trying to start everything at the same time. Okay. And of course, but it becomes difficult. But I think in many countries, they already start to do this. They should assemble into databases. They should have ring tests so that they are doing the same in different labs. We are now having ring tests between global laboratories. I think we have like 60 or 70 laboratories participating in the GMI ring test. So we are already starting to do that, but it's correct that that's a big issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question. And any other short question? I'm not encouraging it, as you can see. In that case, I'll say a sincere thank you to the speakers for this afternoon session. And before you walk away, Prof. Jørgen will present you with your gift. No. And that just leaves us, instead of receiving a gift, you have the honor of a few closing remarks.
I think, it's just, I think it's very clear for everyone who listened to these presentations that there are experience out there that we can use, and clearly Singapore is a country where you take experience from other places, good experience, bad experience, and then you try to improve things here. And I think we have a fantastic opportunity in Singapore to actually build on the whole genome sequencing, because we have several places in Singapore. It's CELSI here at NTU, which is together with NUS, but it's also Genomics Institute Singapore, and a number of different places where we already have very high capacity in whole genome sequencing. So I think, moving forward with whole genome sequencing would be a big step forward, and how to integrate that into risk assessment, which we also heard about today, is a really big thing. So we need to start talking about risk assessment also in Singapore. Thank you very much to our guests from Germany and France. We were still missing Denmark, but they are not so important. Thank you.
Thank you, Jørgen. So that just leaves me for the practical details. So if our guests from ANZUS and BFR would like to take their leave, and also the senior representatives from the public agencies that will be participating in a subsequent discussion. So you feel free to leave. And those, just take a minute of your time. I ask if those remaining would complete a questionnaire for us to give us some information on what you're needing. Also, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to pass them on to the organisers, and we will try to address them from the speakers today. So thank you very much for your attendance.